Joined by Trot's Mets Hammer, the only trainer and driver to win the Triple Crown of trotting since the Meadowlands opened in '76. Tron, what is that first Hambletonian experience like, the very first one you're in?
Well, if I remember right, it was with Bowling for Dollar, and he was, a pretty good horse. He actually won his fastest eliminations, but that was the first year they went to the format with a week after for the final, and unfortunately he drew the 9-hole for the final, which kind of ruined it a little bit for him. But I was pretty calm, and I enjoyed it on the big day. And he kind of got a wide turn, and it was he ended up on the front end, but tired a little bit. That was when Mal Burrows slipped up the rail inside of me.
If you had your choice today, would you still have the heats in the final on the same day?
Absolutely.
You think that's a truer test?
Yeah, and it's much. I think it's better. I mean, it's for the sport and everything. I understand they did it for the TV coverage and for the media, but I think it's better. It's a better, bigger test, and now it's only the Kentucky Futurity left for trotters with heat racing, and I enjoy heat racing.
Well, to be quite honest, I don't remember, but I'm sure I was very excited. I mean, it's quite a few years ago, but I don't think I did any good, so I don't remember.
Well, I know one of your first was Mr. Levesque. That was the '94, the Victory Dream, so that had to be somewhere up there.
Yeah, that was one of the early ones. I finished second in that one. I was very excited because it was a choir in the stretch between John and me, so the outcome was good. It was in my favor, so it was a good experience. That.
And then 3 years later, you go 1-2, Malabar Man, and take chances in the Hambletonian. How can it get any better than that?
Well, that was icing of the cake. I mean, that was such a good experience. That's something you dream about doing again.
But I hate to mention this, but you've won more Hambletonian eliminations since Malabar Man than anybody, but you haven't taken the final again.
It's a tough race to win. Things got to work. You have the beacon course, or the standard answer is called now, and the elimination. It's a tough period to keep a horse fresh, and so far I haven't done a good job.
Well, you've done a good job, but we got to see what about Muscle Massive. Is he the type of horse that can get the whole thing this year, the whole ball of wax?
I think so. I mean, I wasn't 100% happy with his last performance. He won the race, but he's going to be better.
Yeah, the first couple of times I drove in the race, I had no shot, but I was thrilled to death just to be in the Hambo. It meant a lot. It was really quite an experience.
And then all of a sudden, 1993 comes, and American Winner wins and draws inside a Pine Chip. Was that the key to the race?
No, I think we were going to beat him if we were on the outside of him. We were pretty good that day. That little horse had a lot of get that day, and Pine Chip hadn't peaked yet, so I think but you never know. It was a horse race, but it sure helped to be on the inside of him.
Does that, what kind of boost does the Hambletonian victory give to your career at that stage? That was 1993.
Oh, it means a lot. You put your name out there, and all of a sudden everybody, associates you with trotters, and it just kind of snowballs things a little bit. But what a great feeling it is to win the Hambo for the first time. I floated around in the clouds for a couple of weeks. I wasn't right. I'm telling you, for a couple of weeks after I won that race, I wasn't right. I just floated around. It was a race that it was beyond my wildest dreams to win that race as a kid growing up, and to win it was really special.
I think it was 2007, Tim Tetrick, with the Pampered Princess. Was that the first Hambletonian experience for you?
Yeah, I actually drove her in the elimination. She won her elimination, and then in the final, she just, the trip didn't work out good, and she didn't do any good. But it was awful exciting, and was happy to be involved in it.
That was your first really great year, too, 2007. Seemed like everything was going right for you.
Yeah, I had a very good year. I was very lucky to get locked onto some really nice horses and good trainers backing me, and I was lucky enough to get the job done with a lot of horses.
But that's 3 years ago. You're now due to win one of these Hambletonians, right?
Well, I was second 2 years ago with Crazed, which was really exciting, and hopefully I can win one day and try to keep up with the guys like Pierce and Campbell like that.
So your resume is like 98% full right now, with a couple of blanks, and one of them would be Hambletonian.
I just thought I was just getting started, so I'm like at 12%. I got a long way to go, right?
Plenty of time, but it's still great being out there in the Hambo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great feeling. Get to drive good horses in big races, and it's a marquee race.
Don Swick, I seem to remember, I think it was 2000. Was Fast Photo, was he in the Hambletonian that year?
Yes, he was. That was my first horse in the Hambletonian.
What was that like? What's it like sending your horse out 15 minutes to the post, all the pageantry of the Hambo?
Oh, it was exciting. I think I sweat anyway. I was really sweating that day. It was, we had never been in a race like that. My owners don't come to the races that often. They had come up for the day. We thought we had a good chance with the horse. So I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking, but it was a lot of fun. It's what it's supposed to be.
Now, Fast Photo went on later on to win the Breeders' Crown, right?
Right. Yes, he did. It's the only race he won that year. He couldn't seem to find a way to win races, a lot of seconds and thirds. But Mike started driving him at Lexington, and Mike had a good hand with him, pulled the shoes off of him, and he came around good then.
Is it safe to say that all trainers of young horses have that first Saturday in August circled right away as the year starts?
Oh, absolutely. If you train trotters, that's all you think about. If you train pacers, you think of the jug. But everybody aspires to be in the Hambletonian, obviously to win it. But just to be in it, really be in it is it's a lot of fun.
And it takes you get a lifetime memory sometimes just from one or two races, just being in that race.
Definitely. Photo got beat a length and a half, and I rue that length and a half every day to this day. I mean, I still talk about it, different reasons. You think, God, if I just had a way to get that length and a half back.
I love the Hambletonian. That's the mecca of harness racing, and the greatest trotting race there is. And it's a great experience.
Sometimes when you're in a race with a horse like Muscle Hill, everybody forgets who else was in the race. But you got a check there.
Yeah, I was fourth last year with the Chancellor, one that I actually own half of, so that was pretty exciting.
Now, what happens in a race like that? On Muscle Hill, he's a horse to beat. He kind of gets away from the field in the final turn. What were you thinking at that point?
I was hoping for a check. Muscle Hill is a great horse, and he's a little intimidating, so it's one of those things where you don't really want to go after him. You want to just protect your spot and get a check.
Isn't a horse like Lucky Jim proof that kind of every horse is on their own schedule? Because come Hambo time, a few years ago, he wasn't at his best, but certainly has picked it up since.
It's amazing how a horse can transform from one year to the next.